All right, CF Rainey here as we get ready. Let me bring it in here. Our Green Hills Insurance pre-match show this time, not a pre-game show, pre-match show, as we get ready for our first wrestling meet here on Bulldog Sports TV. I'm joined by Jeremy VanMeter. He'll join us here in a moment. He's over at the scores table, so you're not going to get to see his face that's made for radio. As he gave me a little smile as we get ready here. But it's South Harrison hosting a triangular, and so up first will be South Harrison versus East Buchanan, then Albany and East Buchanan, and then South Harrison and Albany will finish tonight. We also have senior night, and we'll show senior night as well for those that are tuned in. And we'll wait as everyone's jumping on here. And thankful to all of our sponsors that make it possible to bring you all of these South Harrison events. And excited to host our first wrestling meet here on Bulldog Sports TV. And, these kids are kids that I know from school, and most of you know them from a lot of other sports too, or in activities, right? They are football players, they are softball players, cheerleaders, and track athletes, people that do numerous other events, and so in activities, kids that are in the band. And so it's exciting to be able to showcase this. If you haven't already, I would encourage you, go catch our interview with Coach Casey McFall after the broadcast here as he talks about the wrestling team and leading up to tonight and then next week into the GRC meet. And so we're excited to host this one on Bulldog Sports TV, Facebook, and YouTube. We will also catch you when we get to the next home meet. And senior night tonight, and Coach McFall was talking to me about the fact that it is a large senior class. In fact, he thought it was probably the largest senior class South Harrison has had in wrestling with boys and girls. And so big numbers, and excited to be able to show you what we've got going on. I'm very thankful to have Jeremy VanMeter, South Harrison's own Jeremy VanMeter, former Bulldog. Although we always say once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog, but played football and wrestled. Hold on, he wants to say something here.
Well, I mean, I went through the wrestling program. I wouldn't call me I have no hardware, but I've been a part of it at some point for the last 40 years.
No, and you've coached youth wrestling and everything else, and so we're excited to have Jeremy with us. He's also going to be PA announcing some things, and so we'll step back away here as we're getting ready for the national anthem here in a moment. But thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you tuning in here on the Green Hills pre-match show on Bulldog Sports TV. Remember, if you need insured, they've got you covered. We'll go ahead and step away, be back after the national anthem. Again, it'll be South Harrison, East Buchanan up first, and we'll step away, be back after this.
Green Hills Insurance, LLC of Bethany is a locally owned and operated independent insurance agency providing coverage since 1996. They're licensed to operate in Missouri, Iowa, and Kansas, offering competitive rates with top carriers. They can insure a wide variety of risks, including home, farm, auto, boats, RVs, equipment, business owners, commercial buildings, bonds, and more. Located on the south side of the square in Bethany, stop by or give them a call at 660-425-7900. At Green Hills Insurance, if you need it insured, they've got you covered.
Remember when filling up your car meant more than just pumping gas? At Bethany Fuel Depot, we're bringing that service back. We'll fill your tank, clean your windshield, and send you on your way with a smile, just like the good old days. Inside, you'll find a general store with vintage candy, nostalgic treats, and unique gifts. We're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., with pumps available 24/7. Find us across from Petty John's, Bethany Fuel Depot, full service and full of charm.
When it comes to keeping your wheels rolling, Advanced Tire has you covered. From passenger and light duty to commercial and agricultural tires, they stock all major brands and sizes. Their team handles mounting, balancing, tire repairs, rotations, and motor vehicle inspections quickly and reliably. And for hard-working local farmers, Advanced Tire offers on-the-farm tire repair service to keep your operation moving. Family owned for 17 years, Advanced Tire is proud to serve the Bethany area with fast, dependable, community-rooted service.
United Country Nelson Real Estate is your trusted place to go when looking to buy or sell. Licensed in 3 states, our team of experienced agents is ready to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Whether it's a home in town, wide open farmland, hunting and recreational property, or that perfect piece of land to call your own. With United Country Nelson Real Estate, you get the best of both worlds. Personal hometown service backed by nationwide exposure. Find us online at nelsonsoldit.com, and remember, no one knows the country like we do.
All right, so we just had the national anthem. You see the American flag there above the mat. And we'll get ready for our first matchup, again, between South Harris and East Buchanan. You can see the scoreboard there. We'll try to make sure we're keeping up with the score and the time and everything as we are learning here as we're getting ready for this.
Keep in mind here, one thing to keep in mind here, CF, is there's 2 different scores happening in wrestling. There's the match score and the team score. So as matches happen, a pin or an open gets 16 points. Technical fall, which is 15 points or more, gets 5 team points. Major decision, which is more than 7, is worth 4, and then a regular victory is worth 3. So not only are these guys wrestling and gals wrestling to win the match, but they're also trying to win the team. So there's a girls duel and a boys duel. Our first match of the night is going to be between Addison Polly at 110 pounds against Brooklyn Oots out of East Buchanan at 110 pounds. Addison Polly, a first-year wrestler at South Harrison. She was our manager last year. She likes to follow around our heavyweight, Ruger Johnson. Ooch with a outside single, going to get the takedown for 3. Got a butcher lined up. Addison's going to try and block it off. Getting near fall points now with the butcher. Got to fight that off to be able to, Ooch with the pin, so that'll be 16 points for East Buchanan.
And that is one of them.
So Serena Lurton had an open. That's 16 points for Bethany. So right now it's 6-6. The next match is going to be East Buchanan is Madeline McCoy, and South Harrison is senior Hayden Humphrey. So team scores tied 6-6. Starting the 125-pound match here in the girls' duel between East Buchanan and South Harrison. Still on their feet. Looks like McCoy's trying for a snap down, and Humphrey's not having it. Doing a little hand fighting, trying to get inside control. Ooh, going for the hip toss. Not quite there. That's one of those 1980s moves that looks majestic when done correctly. Sets up a nice high single leg. She's got to pull it in and finish now. McCoy's trying to cross-face her off her leg. She's got to keep her hips up now. Hips dropped, so McCoy's got a pretty good cross-face in. She can work back up to her knees and pull that leg back in. She can gain back some kind of leverage. There's no takedown yet because she still has, nope, there's the takedown. So McCoy gets a 3-point takedown. Now Humphrey needs to work back to her base. She's got the leg back so she can pull it down. She can possibly get a reversal. Now step over. There you go. Now get your head out. You got to swim. Red's still in control, but if she can, Humphrey, get to her feet, maybe get, there you go. There's an escape for Humphrey. The score is 3-1, McCoy. Humphrey close to a takedown there, but McCoy was able to get the takedown, and Humphrey with the escape. Going back to the hip toss and miss, so she's got to drop. Nope, there's the, gave that takedown a little quick in my opinion, but he's wearing the stripes, I'm not. So 6-1 McCoy. Gonna end the first period 6-1 McCoy.
And that's one of those, Jeremy, maybe explain what's going on here is they flipped the coin there.
Yeah, they flipped to decide which color gets choice in the first period. Green won, so she looked to her coach. She said we want to defer to be able to choose the second period. So the red looks at her coach. She says she wants to go down. The reason why they usually choose down is it's easier to score points from bottom. You can get escape. You can get a reversal. From top, all you can get is near fall points or a pin. So usually a lot of people choose down. Unless they feel confident on their feet, then they choose neutral. So right now, Humphrey's still in control. Hasn't lost control yet, but McCoy's trying to either get a reversal or escape for points. Humphrey's just trying to get her back down and back under control. See if she can throw that left hip down. She can put her. She's going to pull that stalemate. Okay, so that means both wrestlers can't improve their position from there, or haven't been able to. So they go to stalemate, back to the neutral or the referee's position with a down and a up. So McCoy gets straight to her feet, and Humphrey is immediately in defense trying to get her back to the mat. Calling stalling on green, a warning. You can't just hold the leg and sit there. That was potentially dangerous. So as you saw, she had the leg pinned. As she turned, the knee started to angle out, started to be potentially dangerous. So,
all right, and so it's definitely one of those. I'm sure there are a lot of people watching at home that don't understand some of these rules. So we really appreciate Jeremy being with us to explain what's going on. And Hayden down 6-1 at minute 20 to go here in the second.
There's an escape for McCoy. So now 7-1. Hayden immediately looks like she's going right back to the hip toss. And McCoy will get another takedown, so it's going to be 10-1. She's got a half Nelson in, or she did. She lost it. Oh, man, now Humphrey's trying to set up the Peterson cradle or the John Cena move or whatever version of you want to call it. She lost the head there, but she still has the leg if she can get the head back. That's one of those moves that can, if you've watched Vision Quest, he was the lat drop. Well, John Cena is the reverse cradle. Every move, usually somebody invented it and it gets it named after him. So still 10-1. Got a clasping hold here. So this is something you see in beginner wrestling and youth wrestling. You can't just wrap your arms around the body. You have to have a limb. So we're going to stop here and give a technical violation for locked hands, clasping, 1 point to Humphrey. So now it's 10-2. You can't just grab the body when they're on the mat. You got to have an arm or a leg in with it or a head. You can't just straight clasp around the body. Usually when I'm coaching youth wrestlers, that's the first thing I have to yell at them about because they just want to grab them and throw them around like they do at home, you know. Sometimes a wrestler will get desperate when they're starting to lose control and do that on accident. Even your most veteran wrestlers will get it called on them. Humphrey trying to, there you go, got a reversal for Humphrey. So now we're looking at 10-4. 10-4, he's trying to get a breakdown. Get her broke down the mat with a crossface maybe, a little hip pressure, get her broke down from her base. So now she can start to run a move. She can start to, that's the end of the second period. So now it's going to be Humphrey's choice. She's probably going to choose down so she can get, yep, there you go. Coach McFall says we want down so she can get a escape or a reversal, possibly gain some of these points back down by 6. So she's wrestled 2 full periods, both of them have. A 3-period match, I used to always say, felt like a whole football game. Now we got another clasping. So here's the dynamic here. So now Humphrey just gets 1 for clasping again and an escape. So now it's 10-6. And since she already has 2 technical violations, she gets another one that's worth 2. And then it could almost even be a disqualification on the 4th one. So we got 1:40 left. The match is 10-6. Humphrey needs to really start to kind of push to try and get a takedown or something to get this match close. Now you can see McCoy from East Buchanan, we coach this, we call it the baseball grip. You just grab an arm and hold it like a baseball bat, and it stops the other wrestler from being able to do so much. It's kind of a stall tactic without getting called for stalling. Humphrey gets a good shot in deep in the leg. She needs to continue to finish through and get a takedown here and put this match really, really close. Going to call stalemate again because she got there and stopped. McCoy stopped her from finishing the penetration. So 1:08 left, 10-6. You can hear the coach yelling baseball grip. Everybody in the gym knows that means hold on to her and stall it out and get the win. Humphrey trying to go for the big hip toss. The baseball grip will help stop that. Because if she can hit the hip toss headlock throw, that's 3 for a takedown and back points. That can put her up. She missed the head again. She's going to try and stay on her feet. They gave the takedown to McCoy. So now we got 13-6 East Buchanan. She's going to pull that leg back in. 30 seconds left. She's going to have to do, in wrestling terms, like a football term would be a Hail Mary. She needs a move that's a big move here that gets reversal and back points to be able to get this match back in her favor. She's got a fireman set up. And McCoy kept enough hip pressure to be able to stop it. Oh, she's setting up the Peterson, but only 6 seconds left. All right, so that's time. Your final score is going to be 13-6. That is only a 7-point victory, so 3 points will be 9-6 East Buchanan team score-wise. It looks like we have a 130-pounder Amber Criley going to come out for an open. Amber Criley, a junior first-year wrestler, had pretty good success. I've joked around that she's strong and agile enough that if she knew anything, she'd be dangerous. She knows about 6 moves and gaining one every day. And it looks like Parton at 165 pounds or 155 pounds for East Buchanan is going to come out, and that's going to. So the difference in that team score is going to be the 3-point win for McCoy. East Buchanan will win the duel, 15-12. So that'll end the girls' duel. So now captains will come out. So the boys is a little different. How they flip the coin for the girls. For the boys, they're going to come out as captains. Flip red or green, they get to, so the winner gets to choose, do they want odd or even? So that means the even matches get to choose top or bottom first, odd ones, so on. That, and coaches like to play a game if they have an open or not an open. If it's your choice, you get to send out the wrestler you want or not send one out to try and get more team points. There's some strategy involved. So the deeper you get into the sport, there's about 19 different levels of strategy you can think about. Sometimes we can paralysis by analysis and overthink it sometimes.
Well, I appreciate, again, Jeremy being with us. So if you're watching, you're able to understand a few more things than the novice fan, which I am. I was talking to Coach McFall and Coach Bennett beforehand. I'm like, I understand enough. I can watch a match and see where points are going, but the intricacies of wrestling is definitely not part of what I know. And so having Jeremy here is great as we get ready for the boys to start here.
So we're going to start at 106. Both teams are open. And it looks like 113, both teams are open. So we're going to jump all the way up to 120. South Harrison is going to have Cruz Stewart. Junior Cruz Stewart looks like he's going to have an open at 120. So we go to 126. So 126 for South Harrison is going to be Brendan Hoover, senior. And 126 for East Buchanan is Levi Bullimore, freshman. So Levi Bullimore from East Buchanan, freshman, taking on senior Brendan Hoover. Brendan made it to state last year, made it to the bubble match, which is the match we call right before medals. If you win, you make a medal. If you lose, your bubble bursts. So he made the bubble match at state last year, and he's had a pretty solid year this year. Had a few injuries that's kind of stopped him. Goes right for a good single leg to the outside, going to lift it, and shelf it up, and get the takedown there. So, well, not quite. There he gave 3 to Hoover for the takedown. So 3-0. Has a cradle almost locked up, but Bullimore blocks it off. Going to go back right to it, though. That's a move that everybody's learned from Craig Coffey, the cross-face cradle, and everybody loves it. And that is a pin in 31 seconds for Brendan Hoover. So Brendan Hoover gets 16 points. We're going to go from 126 to 132.
Are you 132 today? Are you 132?
Do you have a 132?
Jacob Meter, is he not here?
132 is next. Had a little confusion. Our 138-pounder, South Harrison, got a little excited, thought it was his turn. It's 132 first. So,
Go ahead.
so 132 for South Harrison is Jacob Metter. junior first-year wrestler having a solid first-year campaign. Going to get it open for 6. Now 138. 138 for South Harrison is going to be Gentry Allen, sophomore, second-year wrestler. East Buchanan is open there also. Oh, I show they're open. They didn't report, so we're going to go to 144. 144, South Harrison should have Camden Eckerson and Will Fisher, correct, for East Buchanan at 144. So senior Camden Eckerson of South Harrison will take on sophomore Will Fisher of East Buchanan. At 144 pounds, team score right now is 24-0 South Harrison. So East Buchanan is really going to have to put all their wins together to be able to make this a team match at all. But Eckerson's looking, this is going to be a district matchup probably, so they're in our district, East Buchanan, so this match could be a difference in seeding. So Eckerson really needs to get this win here for South Harrison to help him come district time. He's got his good single leg, and Fisher put a whizzer in, which is kind of a block to that single leg, and now is almost, got control there just long enough to get the takedown. So Fisher's up 3-0. And Eckers, oddly enough, right now, this is what we call running the stanky leg. Still just 3-0. So that was too much. So you can mat return somebody, but they cannot leave all points of contact for the mat without, you can't slam them on their head basically. No WWE style stuff. So Eckerson's going to get a point for a penalty there. That's similar to a clasping call. So he gets 1 penalty point. He's still down 3-1. And Fisher has control right now with 1:14 left in the first period. Real close to a clasping. The reason he's going to have to mat return him, because if he does not return him to the mat within 5 seconds, the official is supposed to call a stalling. It almost was a clasping again, but he has that arm trapped, which you got to be careful with that. If you trap the arm at mat return, it's potentially dangerous or a penalty because you can separate a shoulder or bang a head off a mat just for safety stuff. This is one of those sports that you better have a lot of safety rules in place because things can happen quickly. Eckerson's got the leg back under it. Looks like he's trying to he's going to get the reversal on the edge of the mat. That's a 2 reversal for Eckerson. Now they're out of bounds, all contact out of the circle. So we're tied up 3-3. Eckerson in control with 30 seconds left in the first period. You know, Camden's one of these kids, CF, that's very athletic, very strong, has kind of went out for wrestling here and didn't go out the whole time, has a lot of ability. As a senior, I think he's looking to possibly do something this year. On the mat return there, lost control, so I think we have an injury on that mat return.
Yeah, it's one of those that seemed like the East Buchanan wrestler came down right on top of him when he was trying to swing him across.
I think it sounds to me like he's trying to gain his breath back. Because at mat return, you're not supposed to bring him right down on top of you. It's supposed to go beside you, and I think East Buchanan turned just right to where all of 144 pounds landed right on the rib cage of Eckerson. And you could hear, for all of us sports people, that noise that you heard, the moaning, that was him trying to get his diaphragm to work correctly again.
Yeah, you and I have both been there.
Yeah.
You can't breathe, and you're kind of freaked out. My daughter, Olive, 7th grade, landed on a basketball diving for it in junior high basketball this year.
So in wrestling, when something like this happens, there is a thing called injury time. So you only have so many minutes to be better. They also have blood time. If you bleed, you have to get it stopped so much time. So there is time. You have to figure it out. Now, sometimes a wrestler will say, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm done anyway. But most times they'll fight through it until they run out of injury time, or worse, we have to call somebody to take them somewhere else. It looks like Camden's probably just going to get his breath back and be fine. This happens a lot in wrestling. You get the wind knocked out of you, and you have to think about it for a minute, because your brain likes to shut off when oxygen does too. I have to remind myself, CF, we're live here so everybody can hear. This isn't just me talking to a buddy up in the stands about wrestling.
You and I have had plenty of those times just sitting by each other watching a football game or something that we're probably glad that we didn't have microphones going across YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so Camden's back good with the reversal. Fisher's going to be at 5-3 with 19 seconds left in the first period. Again, that's one of those moments where Eckerson is very athletic, very strong, and kind of almost put himself in harm's way just because of his speed and his strength. And he's just so fast. He moves so quick that if he's in control, he's great, but sometimes he gets himself just a little out of control. He's trying to get a reversal before the end of the period. Going to run out of time. So into the first period, the score is 5-3 Fisher from East Buchanan. Green is going to defer, so Eckerson defers and Fisher chooses down. Again, we always tell kids you're never choosing anything but down or neutral. You can choose up, but we will yell at you as coaches. So it's easier to score points from down. So Fisher straight to his feet, and Eckerson loses a point to escape. So now it's 6-3 Fisher. Trying to do a little hand fight to get wrist control because it's easier to do any kind of a shot when their arms are out of the way, or to run a move with that wrist. So you see Fisher pushing, Eckerson trying to gain control, but you can't move back too far. They could get called for a stalling. There'll be a warning first, and the second time there'll be a point. I don't think that was what Eckerson was doing there. See, he's not afraid to go right after that. So he's got a good double leg. He's got the turn. Now he needs to climb the body, keep climbing the body to get his control. No, he lost the legs. So unfortunately now the Wizard's back in play. So he's got the leg. The kid's got the stanky leg in, and he's trying to whizzer him down to his head. Eckerson needs to get high and get control. There it is. There's the takedown. There's back points for sure. Now Eckerson needs to not get rolled and keep him on his back. So 3-point takedown for Eckerson. We got back points. If he can get his back flat, it's a pin. It'll be a big win for Eckerson. District seeding matters. Got to get that arm back under control. So he's going to get 4 points for the near fall because he had his back aimed towards the mat for 4 seconds. I didn't really go into detail about how that works. I'll try and explain that when we have a little more time. So it's now 10-6 Eckerson, and Eckerson in control. We got blood time. Looks to me. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a gusher. Yeah, good crossface caused a little bit of a nosebleed. So they'll get that cleaned up and probably shove a blood-stopping device up the nostril. Is that the best way to put that?
So when you're talking back time.
So back points. So when you're in control and you expose the other wrestlers back to the mat, they start counting. If they get 2 counts, it's 2 back points. 3 counts, it's 3. 4, it's 4. So once you get 4 seconds, then that's the most you can get. The whole time you're trying to pin them. But then if they get up, you get those. But if you only expose the back for 2 seconds and then they roll back over and you lose the pinning combination, then you only get 2 back points. So Eckerson there, not only with the reversal, got a 4-point near fall there, and now he's leading 10-6. And right now, between me and you, I feel like that nosebleed is allowing East Buchanan to kind of regroup. Like they were kind of in control of that match, and Eckerson put him on the ropes.
Yeah, he got all the momentum, and now it's gone for the next 37 seconds here in the second.
So Eckerson's still in control, winning 10-6. So right now he's wanting to make sure he's not giving up any points before the end of the period, and if he can get him back down in a pinning combination, even better. He's got to watch the clasping there. And try not to – well, there was a clasping, darn it. He didn't. And they won't let you improve your position after clasping, so even though he had a pinning combination started, they had to stop it to give Fisher a penalty point for clasping. So now 10-7, Eckerson. 10-7, Eckerson. Again, he's just trying to keep him on the mat, not give up any points. To keep from a clasping, he probably needs to look at ankle. There's another. He got away with a clasping there, thank goodness. Now he's got a crossface in. Again, the Cray Coffee special. He's got a crossface going into the butcher. That would be huge to get any back points here with 5 seconds left, and he's not going to be able to get it done. So going to end the second period with Eckerson leading 10-7. Can't remember whose choice it is. Oh, it's South Harrison's choice, so Eckerson will pick down. Again, it's easier to score points from down than it is on top. So 10-7, Eckerson needs to get an escape here, a reversal, something where he can control the rest of the period. he's so fast and athletic that I assume he can probably get away, but he's got to do it under control. Like that, the kid's got the arm trap, and he's trying what they call a tilt, which is easy back points. Eckerson's going to fight that off and get wrist control and try and do a nice little sit-out. Fisher follows another. He needs to string it together. Oh, but he slipped a half in. Eckerson might be in trouble here unless he can fight that arm back through. He's giving up back points here. The official is holding them until the pinning combination is let go or a pin. Oh, man, that'll put him up by 1. Yeah, he's got the 4. So Eckerson needs to get out of this, and then he's going to have to score because he's going to be down 1. So now the pinning combination is still hooked up, so he hasn't awarded the points yet. They're coming. Oh, there's the 4 points, and now he's almost trying to count more. So now Fisher is up 11-10. So Eckerson in a minute, with just over a minute left, he's got to get an escape, a reversal, or something. Now he's trying to put in a butcher that he's going to have to. Oh no, he's going to torque it on over. Eckerson wasn't able to roll through. That's tight. That's a pin for Fisher. Darn it. So Fisher with the pin late in the third period. Going to give the East Buchanan 16 points. So it's going to be 24-6. Eckerson wrestled a pretty good match, but lost it at the end. So we're going to jump to 150. 150 for South Harrison.
Ian.
150 for South Harrison.
Go ahead.
As Ian Mode. Looks like East Buchanan is going to hold their 150-pounder. Give Mode the win. And their 150-pounder, which is Reese Dixon, ranked 6th in the state, is bouncing up to 157. Going to take on Mason Galloway from South Harrison in the Batman mask. Mason Galloway, pretty good.
I was going to mention that. I saw Batman appear.
Well, here's the thing. He has a piece of cartilage in his nose floating around in there, and he doesn't want to miss the rest of the season, so he's just going to wear a mask. So his nose is in pieces. You heard that correctly. And he's taking on Reese Dixon from East Buchanan at 157. Reese is a 150-pounder, but you can bounce up one weight class, and so he bounced up to wrestle Mason Galloway. Reese is ranked 6th in the state at 150. And that's the great thing about duels. You can bounce up one weight class, and if you want to try and get, a matchup against a kid you want to get, good or bad. Good double leg takedown by Dixon. Galloway's going to try and work that wrist free to try and get back to his base, get away. Dixon, pretty solid wrestler. East Buchanan only in their second year of wrestling, but I know this kid wrestled all through youth, and he was, I hate to say it like this, but it's kind of the reason why they thought, hey, let's get wrestling in East Buchanan, because this kid has been solid since he was little. All right, an escape for Galloway. Now he's going to try and set something up. He's down 3-1 with a minute left in the first period. Mason Galloway's another one of those really athletic kids, good football player, strong, fast, can string some moves together and be dangerous. But this Dixon kid is a pretty legit wrestler, so you're going to have to put together a good setup and a good string of matches or moves. So the team score is 30-6, not 24. I was mistaken. So it's 30-6 South Harrison. The match score is 3-1 Dixon over Galloway with 30 seconds left in the first period. Right now they're working for wrist control, inside control. Galloway's trying to set something up correctly because he knows Dixon's not just going to give him anything. Dixon did a good job of working his way out of the mat because he was in trouble there. Galloway had a good deep single leg in, and Dixon had to work his way out of bounds to fight his way off of that. That is a good defense if you can keep from getting a stalling call. So it's still 3-1 with 15 seconds left. Galloway trying to work the inside control or get a good wrist control because he knows he can't just run some willy-nilly move. He's going to have to run a good one or Dixon will block it. So you got to get good wrist control or inside control with the arms. That's the end of the first period. Score is 3-1, Dixon over Galloway.
So I would assume with a wrestler like Dixon, East Buchanan just getting it, that he was in some sort of program, that he didn't just.
Right. There's a lot of youth programs like we have one here in Bethany, a lot of different clubs, a lot of, in the bigger cities they have clubs instead of the schools running them, but here we have a Bethany one. And Dixon was involved in the one down out of North Kansas City for a long time. So the beginning of the second period here, Galloway deferred, and Dixon chose down. So Galloway, knowing that, hey, I'm probably going to give up an escape, I need to work on some sort of takedown, he goes ahead and says, I want to go neutral, gives the escape point. So now Dixon's up 4-1. I forget, being around wrestling most of my life, that things happen really fast. So I know I'm saying a lot of information at a really fast pace, but things can happen really fast at a wrestling match. So score's 4-1 with 1:20 left in the second period. Galloway's trying to set something up to get a good shot. Needs a takedown to tie it up. This is a good match for Mason. Again, he's an athletic, strong kid. He just he needs that good experience against those good wrestlers like Dixon. So this can be something. And again, this probably isn't a district seeding situation because Dixon bounced up to wrestle him. So it's not going to probably affect district seeding, but it could really, if Galloway wins this match, it really changes. When it comes to those seeding meetings, he can say, well, hey, he beat Dixon from East Buchanan, because, again, he's a pretty solid wrestler and ranked 6th in the state, and Galloway's given him a good match so far. Trying the slide by, set it up pretty good, but and he got the takedown. So a little slide by there, you set up all that arm movement, and then you just use Galloway's momentum and shove him to the side and get around the back to get your takedown. So now Dixon's up 7-1. Now it's actually set up pretty nicely. He basically took Mason's momentum against him and pushed him past. So now he's working to get something maybe on the edge of the mat towards the end of the period. Going to be out of bounds with 4 seconds left. I can hear Mason's dad, Philip, who was a wrestler for South Harrison back in the day also, in the crowd. If you remember Philip back in the day, he looked exactly like Mason does. So 7-1 Dixon. Going to end the second period that way. So like I said earlier, sometimes in wrestling, wins come in different shapes than actual win matches. So right now for Galloway, this is a win. If he wins this match, great. But he's wrestling a state-ranked kid and wrestling well. So this is definitely something you watch film and learn something from a very good wrestler that he's not going to see in districts because, again, he bounced up to wrestling, but it gives him good mat time and good experience to be able to start developing stuff for the rest of the season. The great thing about districts in wrestling is you go in with a record of 0-0. You just got to keep winning to keep going. So here's the tilt we talked about earlier where he traps the arm and rolls and just tilts him over and gets back points. You can almost never pin anybody with that, but you can get back points pretty easy. So there you got 4 back points just by rolling him over. You can't pin him. You can accidentally pin yourself doing that. I've seen that, unfortunately. So now it's going to be 11-1 Dixon with 1:20 left in the third. Going straight back to that tilt again. I don't know that he ever let go of it, though, but you have to let go of the pinning combination, and he went ahead and awarded it. So now that's going to be 15-1, so that's going to be close to a tech fall. So if he gets one more point without pinning him, it's a tech fall, which is a team 5 team points instead of 6. No more tilt, I heard a coach say. That's enough. No more. Going straight to that cross-face butcher like we've seen South Harrison do a lot. Mason's got it posted out, though. Got to be careful there because then it goes in the cross-face cradle just like it did. Right there for the camera to see it perfectly. Mason's going to have to try and fight to not go to his back for 30 seconds because any kind of back points will end the match. And I know Mason wants to definitely not get pinned, but he'd like to try and go the distance here against a great wrestler. Now there, unfortunately, now he's going to fight off his back and not get pinned. You can get pinned there. There it is. So Dixon with the crossface cradle pin. Mason wrestled a pretty good match till the very end there. So Galloway will lose. East Buchanan will gain 6 team points. Dixon with the win. So we're moving up to 160.
Wait. Coach Coffee's not ready.
We're 165 pounds for Tate Aikens out of South Harrison and Phoenix Baugh of East Buchanan. So see, things happen quickly in a wrestling match. That match just ended, and the kids were at the head table. We're ready to go. So Tate Aikens out of South Harrison, 165 pounds, taking on Phoenix Baugh from East Buchanan. Oh, so we got a caution right off for Tate Aikens because you can only have your foot on the green line. The other foot cannot be ahead. at the beginning of the match. So Phoenix Ball is ranked 11th in the state, solid wrestler. He's only been wrestling for a couple years, but he's an athletic kid, and I think he's learned a lot from wrestling Dixon a lot. He gets the takedown right off, so 3-0 Ball. So, yeah, a lot of times a really good athletic kid like a Mason Galloway or like a Ball here, if you wrestle a good wrestler in practice, you can really develop stuff quickly because I wrestle Brian Bennett every day in practice, and he destroyed me, but I learned a lot from a good wrestler pretty quickly. So you can see Ball goes right back to the tilt just like Dixon did. He's got 2 back points there because he didn't quite have him tight enough to roll him totally over. Got 2 arms on the wrist so he can go back to the tilt. So he awards him 2 back points, so it's now 5-0 Ball. I hate to look forward, but it does look like East Buchanan does have a 215-pounder. So we will see state-ranked Craig Coffey later in this duel, unless East Buchanan chooses to dodge him, which I don't know that I'd want to dodge him because then you're going up against state-ranked Ruger Johnson at heavyweight. So here with 40 seconds left in the first period of 165 pounds, Ball's trying to get some more back points here. It looks like he's actually got a tight butcher in where I don't know if he's going to be able to get him all the way over to his back. Akins may fight that out.
So, Jeremy, when you're on the edge like that, right, you're in the purple, but there's still some in the gray.
As long as the wrestler in control has a point of contact inside the circle. And there's the pin. So you can be outside the mat, but as long as the wrestler that's in control has a toe in even. He can just barely have a toe in. It's still in bounds. So Ball gets the pin there. It's going to make the team score 30-18 South Harrison. We go up to 175 pounds. So Blaine Veach from East Buchanan is taking on Ethan Smith from South Harrison. Ethan is ranked 3rd in the state right now.
Hold on just a second.
I think the amazing thing here, Jeremy, you look at these guys, and I've been to a lot of wrestling meets since we've been here in South Harrison, living in Bethany. You know these guys weigh the same, but sometimes you look at 2 kids, you're like, how do they weigh the same? Just because it's proportion different.
Right, that and, you know, they have to pass the hydration test. They have to do a % body fat test, but some kids can get really lean and look just like chiseled sculptures. Like Ethan hits the weight room like crazy, has for years, is a very solid 175-pounder. And the Veach kid, I think he's young. Yeah, he's only a sophomore, so that's kind of what Ethan Smith looked like as a sophomore until, you know, as puberty finishes taking effect. Ethan Smith has the only losses he's got this year is to the #1 ranked kid in the state 3 times. So Ethan in a pretty good spot in the state right now too. And this young sophomore Veach hasn't wrestled very long, I don't think. And, you know, Ethan's going to look to try and set something up and probably take care of business pretty quickly. Veach is not scared, though. He went straight for the takedown, and Green was able to block him and get in on a leg himself. And he's blocked his stuff, so now he's looking to hook up the reverse cradle, get his hip down, and get control. Green's going to have to – ooh, he's got a potential spladle. Now, this is interesting. There's a lot of things happening. Okay, so Green gets the takedown 3-0. I keep calling him Green. That's his nickname. My bad. It's Ethan Smith. We won't go into the story why we call him Green, but he's been called that since youth wrestling. We'll blame Coach Coffey for that. So crossface cradle. Ethan's got it in tight. He's going to look to put his bottom knee in the side to try and arch his back. No, he's going to look to get it tighter and work to get – because he couldn't expose the back to the mat there because his arm was in the way. So he's got 4 near fall points, so 7-0 Smith. Now he's got the chicken wing. And he's going to look to try and roll him back while controlling the head and the arm. Now he's got the head in tight. He's going to try and arch his back, get his back flat. And that looks to appear to be a pin. There you go. Ethan Smith with a pin in the first period after 1:30. So pin for Ethan Smith at 175. The young Veach fought him off for most of the first period, but that Ethan Green's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
Ethan, nice job. And you can see the years of experience with these seniors coming out, just how technical they are.
So now we move to 190, which is Seabass or Caspin Jinks. at 190 for South Harrison gets the open, and then we're moving to 215. Craig Coffey, the All-State running back, also ranked number 1 in the state at 215 pounds, taking on Eli Meadows out of East Buchanan. Again, this is another one of those, yeah, they both weigh 215, but Meadows is a junior, but is built a little differently than Craig Coffey. I've been around Cray since he was 5 in the wrestling room, and I quit wrestling when he was about 13. I think the only person that's wrestled him adult-wise is Coach McFall for about a good long time. I think Eric quit wrestling him about the same time. His dad, Eric Coffey. Cray, there he is with the crossface. That's his patented crossface, Butcher. He's got such long arms, man. He can run moves that a lot of guys can't just because he's long arms, strong, athletic for 215 pounds. That's why he was so good as a running back, too. He's so big and so athletic and fast that there's a pin, quick pin in 32 seconds.
Yeah, nice win for Cray. And today is Cray's grandma, Karen Guffey, her 85th birthday. So happy birthday to Grandma Karen. And Cray gets a win for her there.
Yeah, gets a win there. And I've drove all over the state to watch Cray Coffey wrestle, and I think I've watched him wrestle like 7 minutes total in the last 2 months because of that very moment. So then after Cray was done, Ruger Johnson goes out and gets the open to end the duel. The final team score, 54-18, South Harrison. So, yeah, again, they could have bounced that 215-pounder up to get away from Cray because Cray's so good, but then you run into state-ranked Ruger Johnson that's ranked 4th in the state. So you can't dodge 2 bullets. So he just, unfortunately, Meadows had to go out and wrestle Coffey, probably knowing it was going to be a rough one. Cray does what he does, and Meadows just tries his best to make it last as long as he can. So that's the end of the first duel. We'll have a quick break between we got to give East Buchanan a little bit of a break before we start the Albany East Buchanan duel. So I guess I'll shut up and let CF do his thing, maybe pay some bills.
Step away for a minute and play some of our sponsors here and be back for more South Harrison Wrestling after this commercial break.
At Petty John Auto Center, we put customers first, making car buying easy and stress-free with honest pricing and no hidden fees. Choose from 9 trusted brands of new cars: Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, plus more than 250 quality pre-owned vehicles. Our service department is here to keep you on the road with confidence. Visit any of our 3 locations in Bethany, Albany, and Trenton, or browse our inventory anytime at pettyjohnauto.com.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them.
Hey, Ben.
Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most. To find your local agent, visit shelterinsurance.com.
See Agent Shane Jones in Bethany for all of your insurance needs.
At GRM Networks, connection means more than just phone and internet. It means community. As a member-owned cooperative, GRM Networks delivers reliable, advanced communications technology while putting customers first. From fast, dependable internet to quality phone services, you can count on a network built for you. And because GRM is locally invested, every connection helps strengthen the communities we call home. GRM Networks, connecting people, supporting communities, and delivering service you can trust.
For 125 years, Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri has proudly served as your locally owned community bank. From convenient online banking and our easy-to-use mobile app, we're here to meet all of your financial needs. With 10 locations across northern Missouri and southern Iowa, you'll always find trusted service close to home. Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri, locally owned, locally trusted, banking Bethany can count on. Learn more at onlinefarmersbank.com. Member FDIC.
All right, we'll come in here real quick. And so it is our United Country Nelson Real Estate, what normally is a halftime show that we do during football or basketball, but here it's in between the matches as we get ready for Albany and East Buchanan up next. And so I know some of you may be watching and you're South Harrison fans, but if you're a wrestling fan, you'll be able to watch that as well. So South Harrison gets the win over East Buchanan as a team, and some nice matches there for the Bulldogs from South Harrison as well. And it's also senior night tonight, and so make sure to stick around, and we will show. It'll kind of be from the backside because we're on the opposite side of where they'll be walking, but we'll be here for senior night as well. And so make sure to stay tuned to that. That will be, I believe, after East Buchanan and Albany, and then before South Harrison and Albany. And so Albany wrestlers warming up as they've been setting and waiting here. And South Harrison wrestlers will take a break and then get ready for senior night, and again, a big senior class. Big thanks to everyone watching. Again, make sure to comment. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. If you're someone from East Buchanan watching, or one of the Albany family members watching, make sure to let us know who you're watching. And obviously, all of our South Harrison fans, Bulldog fans, make sure to let us know. Big thank you again, and birthday wishes to Grandma Karen Guffey. And we appreciate everyone that tunes in. We've had great crowds here on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm going to bring Jeremy VanMeter back in here, Jeremy. So it's interesting, and I wrote down some things as we were watching. Coaching during a match. The East Buchanan coach was up yelling. Obviously, people that are more involved, things like basketball, football things, how that works during a wrestling match as a kid's out there.
Well, different coaches have different styles. And when I coached, obviously, for people that know me, I'm loud, so everybody in the gym knows that I'm coaching. Coach McFall, Coach Bennett, Coach VanMeter, Coach Ward, they're not necessarily like that so much. They do all their coaching during practice because really, man, it makes you feel good as a coach that you're yelling what they should be doing. But in reality, they should already know. It's too late if you have to yell to tell them, you know. But it makes you feel like, and the parents feel like you're supporting their kid when you yell like that. But a lot of coaches have different styles. Coach McFall was an amazing wrestler, very passionate, had a high motor. Like, I remember watching that kid wrestle when he was little. He just never quit. It was 100 mile an hour the whole match, no matter if tough match at state, overtime, didn't matter. And he's like that in practice. He coaches like that in practice. He keeps the motors going all the time. But at matches, it's more, hey, we know what we should be doing. There's no reason for that extra stuff. If he needs to say something, he will, like if it's something that needs to happen. But East Buchanan's an early program.
And that's probably the difference, too, right? You get kids that don't have the knowledge of some of the kids here for South Harrison Wrestling.
You'll notice Albany, Schaus, he'll only say something when he needs to, but he's been coaching for a long time. When there's a close match and it matters, coaches get excited. You know, things happen. I joke around. I helped at a basketball game a while back doing some announcing, and it blew me away the amount of verbiage out of the coaches towards the court, towards the head table. I'm like, man, on a baseball field, you get tossed for that stuff. In a wrestling match, you don't hear it either. But, you know, different sports have different levels of coaching and different levels of ability. As you've noticed in wrestling, things happen so fast, it's really hard to coach. I just love these home duels because I'm looking in the crowd. A new wrestling family to the fold is the Schoening family. Barrett's going to start a youth wrestling.
I saw him over there in his singlet.
Yeah, man, he's digging it. So he's watching Cray. All these hometown people that you don't ever get to watch wrestling is here. And I just love these kids, you know, getting to spotlight at home at senior night. There's a lot of people from really Albany and East Buchanan traveled well. Albany obviously is basically our next door neighbors, so they travel well. East Buchanan, not our next door neighbor, and they travel pretty well for an early program. This duel is going to happen pretty quickly. Both of them, they're not very full. Weight-wise, Albany, it looks like there's potentially only going to be about 3 or 4 matches here. So the second duel, instead of starting at 106, is going to start at 113. Please. So we were just having a conversation with the official. You know, red or green is how they keep score, and green is always home. Well, Albany is green top to bottom, so we always ask, please put Albany as
makes
green.
It easy. And I was asking you on that, and I want to mention we got a comment. Connie Adams cheering on Cole Finley from Albany.
Yeah.
Connie, one of my classmates from kindergarten all the way through senior year.
Oh, there you go.
Graduated with her from Albany, so we welcome them in. Her husband, Steve, another one of our classmates.
All right, so we're going to get started here. The first matchup for this duel from Albany is going to be Jaden Studemeyer, and then again Levi Bullimore from East Buchanan, both of them freshmen. Jaden, am I saying that right? Stoudemire? Stoudemire? Okay, Jaden Stoudemire from Albany, and Bullimore from East Buchanan. Stoudemire is looking to try and get head control with a cow catcher after Bullimore tries for a shot there and misses. So now they're back to neutral and going to do some hand fighting. Going to get a little bit of a collar tie, a shot and a block again. Stoudemire with a good sprawl there. Bullimore had a good high crotch and stop, but they went ahead and went with the Kelly and got the takedown. Bullimore, after trying the shot and missed, kept the elbow and pulled Stoudemire down to get the takedown. So Stoudemire winning Bullimore winning 3-0. So again, Albany is green, which is home on the scoreboard, and East Buchanan is red guest. So
the good thing is I've got the scoreboard with the logos and everything. East Buchanan, Albany here on our screen.
There you go.
So
that's CF Rainey. He's getting good at what he does. All right, we got the tilt right there by Bullimore. We saw East Buchanan run that a lot, and he actually got the pin with it. So Bullimore with the pin in the first period on the tilt.
And you mentioned that was something that you
normally
don't necessarily get a pin out of.
He must have had it really tight and been able to pull it off. So 6-0 East Buchanan. So we moved to 132. Clayton Griffin at 132 from Albany, a junior. Clayton Griffin is going to be at an open, so it'll be 6-6 team score. Looks like East Buchanan is open till 144, I think. So 132 to Griffin, and 138 is Grayson Miller from Albany, sophomore. Looks like he's going to be an open also, and then we'll move to 144. So 144 for East Buchanan again is Will Fisher, it looks like. And it looks like on paper for Albany is going to be Kendrick Katz. Kendrick Katz, a 144 junior, will be taking on sophomore Will Fisher. From East Buchanan.
I'll tell you this about Kendrick Katz. I could not grow facial hair like that when I was in high school.
No, and if you talk about wrestlers that look the part, he looks the part. He's got good muscle structure. He doesn't have a whole lot of extra flab per se. If you talk to some coaches, they probably said he should be wrestling 138, but they already have somebody there, so he's wrestling 144. Fisher, you can tell, cut down to 144. He's got, I think I remember him from football. He's linebacker, running back type kid. And I'm sure Katz, I didn't watch any 8-man football, but I'm sure he probably was in that ballpark range too. Katz gets in on the single leg pretty tight. He can pull that in and get him down to the hip. Oh, he goes for the head. This will be an interesting. He missed. Fisher blocked it off. Fisher keeps that leg in between because then he can keep the whizzer and possibly get control there if he can get Katz down to his head where he got him down there. So he's blocking a good shot here. Katz is back to his feet, and we're back to neutral. So no points there. Fisher blocked off a pretty good single leg by Katz. Again, Fisher's about the same weight as the Dixon kid from East Buchanan, so he's got a good wrestling partner. Got similar build, so he probably runs similar moves. Probably just doesn't have the experience that Dixon does, only as a sophomore. Got a good high crotch there and gets the takedown, so 3-0. Fisher, Katz trying to keep his wrist from getting pinned here and stay in a good base position. Fisher gets him broke down. Working towards the edge of the mat, has a chicken wing started. There it is. He pulls it back. But Katz is to the edge of the mat. Probably needs to try and work his way all the way out. There it is. Okay.
So you mentioned the one in control has a foot. If the other one's completely out, does it still go?
As long as the one in control has 1 point of contact in bounds. So you can see there, he didn't even let it go until Katz come out of bounds. The 1 foot in bounds is when you're in a pinning combination. If you're not in a pinning combination, then you can wrestle until all points are out. You forget how many rules there are until you get to talking. But Katz got 7 seconds left, down 3-0 to Fisher. Right now he's probably just trying to ride out the period. There's the end of the first period, 3-0 Fisher. Your team score right now is 12-6 Albany. So Fisher gets choice, defers.
So when you defer, why would you defer?
So you can get choice third period.
Okay.
When it really matters and you need the choice. It's kind of like deferring the coin toss in football to where you have choice second half. So Fisher chooses down, or no, it looks like Katz chooses up. So I think he feels pretty confident about keeping Fisher down, but he lets him up. So now 4-0 Fisher. So they're back to neutral, and Fisher right now is just wrenching that Russian tie with the wrist and under the arm and just trying to get Katz off balance. Caution, he missed it. His toe was not on the line. Got a caution there. So 4-0 Fisher. Katz right now is looking to try and stay there. That's a good shot. Stayed out of a tie, got a good shot. Now he needs to finish. He needs to lift that up to the shelf. Don't let go of it and go to the head. Fisher's going to put in the whizzer and block it. He's got that left arm there and blocks it off. Now they're back to neutral. So that a good whizzer. He's going to the cow catcher. No, that's tight. That's unfortunate for Katz. That happened pretty quickly tight, and Fisher with the pin in the second period. That's how quick things can happen in wrestling. You can go from being in control to on your back and losing.
Boy, and I've seen it since my wife and I moved to Bethany and coming and watching wrestling here, that you'll have a kid going for sometimes 2.5 periods, and one little mistake,
and you're on your back,
and it's over.
So 150 is open for both teams because Dixon bounced up to 157. He's going to take on, so Reese Dixon out of East Buchanan is taking on Dylan Anthony from Albany, sophomore Dylan Anthony. Again, I think Dixon just wants matches. He bounced up to 157 to get matches. Dylan and Jay Anthony is two of Albany's better wrestlers. And again, we've talked about Reese Dixon from East Buchanan, ranked 6th in the state. But there, that was a good shot by Anthony, but, man, Dixon just blocked it off beautifully and rolled him. Man, it's one of those moves, in control, and then Dixon just puts him on his back. So 3 takedown for Dixon and 4 back points, so immediately down 7-0 after taking a good shot. Dylan Anthony makes a good aggressive shot in deep, and then Dixon just blocks it and is able to whizzer him right over to his back. Team points are tied right now, 12-12. It's 7-0. Dixon over Anthony here in the first period. Dixon's going to go to the tilt, looks like, to get him some back points. Anthony's just going to try his best to stay off his back. And he falls right into a half Nelson. So this could be the final pinning combination. He's got 58 seconds. There it is. Reese Dixon with another pin. Anthony did his best, stayed aggressive. Dixon just a lot. So we're going to 165. Jay Anthony, a junior out of Albany, taking on Phoenix Ball, a senior from East Buchanan.
Got some more Albany folks that I know watching. Letitia Rodney Sorensen. Mentioned Cassandra Miller there watching the Warriors wrestle here against East Buchanan.
So Jay Anthony at 165 taking on Phoenix Ball. Again, Baugh is ranked 11th in the state. Had a solid match against Tate Aikens at South Harrison. Now, Jay Anthony looking to make something happen here. And Baugh gets a good high crotch in there deep on this and goes to the double leg and puts him down to his hip. Now Anthony's just kind of hanging on for survival. Gets back to his base, so 3 takedown Baugh. It's going to be 3-0. Anthony has the inside on his leg, but Baugh keeps fighting him off. Anthony now broke down all the way down to his belly and is going to get a 3/4 Nelson. Drove in there a little power half. That's one of those moves that is just, I call it a muscle head move. If you have enough muscle, you can force that move. Anthony says no dice. Fights it off, and he goes back to it. Got the leg in, going to try and crank that over. So really now Anthony's just holding on and trying not to roll over. Still no back points because he's not quite over there. Now he's far enough for back points. See, Oh, and he broke the leg free, so he got off his back. There is back points been awarded, but his holding hasn't been awarded yet. Now he's back to the – Anthony's just fighting for survival right now, back to the base. Good job, 4 points now. So now 7-0 Baugh. Anthony taking on a state-ranked wrestler here with Baugh and just trying to make something happen, and Baugh's just running move after move, and he's just fighting to stay alive. Looks like if he can stay here for another 10 seconds, he'll get through the first period. Stalemate with 9 seconds left.
I think we're checking to see if there's any blood or something maybe.
Oh, yeah, there's blood from something. Oh, so here's another unfortunate thing that happens in wrestling. You know, kids going through high school get acne, and then they get to grinding around and pounding on stuff. One of those acnes maybe break open, and then they got to clean up some blood. So I got to make a public announcement here real quick. Can I have all senior South Harrison senior?
All right, so Jeremy's doing double duty tonight. And again, man, we really appreciate having Jeremy VanMeter with us, and one of the first guys I met when we moved to Bethany.
Unfortunately for you.
Leaving Bible College, but growing up in Albany, and so Jeremy has been great. And we've had sons that played football together, and we've been in a lot of activities together. And again, I knew he was the guy that I wanted to be with me for wrestling, and he's done a great job, and we appreciate him working with us tonight as he's also doing the PA.
All right, so blood time is over here. Had to get the blood off the mat and off the arm stuff. We don't want blood spreading around. We had to call for all the South Harrison senior parents to make their way over there to get ready for senior night after this duel. So Anthony starts on bottom and almost gets, stalling green. So the problem there is he gets up and he's trying to get an escape, and he takes off running and runs out of bounds, and it's actually a stall move. So he gets a stall warning.
So if you get another one, do you lose points on that?
No, you don't lose it. You award the other one a point.
Okay.
And then if you do it a third time, then it's 2 points, and then a fourth time, it's disqualification. So into the first period, the score is 7-0 Baugh over Anthony.
This is one of those, and I was talking to Coach Casey McFall about it when we interviewed one of our interviews. 2 minutes, you're like, 2 minutes, no big deal. But every other sport, right, football, it's 8 seconds on and then like 35 seconds off. Basketball, you get out of bounds, free throws, everything. It is nonstop for 2 minutes, and I think a lot of people that have never been around wrestling don't understand how hard that is and what kind of shape you have to be in.
Well, and I stalling green there, so that's actually should be a point. Am I correct? One red, that's what I thought. Oh, escape. So now it's 8-0 Fisher. And yes, I've said a full 6 minute match feels like a whole football game. When you walk off a full match and a good tight match that you gave everything with, I've walked off the football field feeling more energetic than I have a wrestling match like that. Obviously, like I said, Craig Coffey's only wrestled 7 minutes in 2 months. So he doesn't necessarily walk off the mat like he did for a football game either, carrying the ball 47 times. But a good, solid wrestling match, even a 2 minute period, is a lot. So another 3-point takedown for Fisher makes the score 11-0. 11-0 Baugh. I'm sorry, not Fisher. Baugh from East Buchanan winning 11-0. The team score right now is 18-12. East Buchanan looking to get another 6 here, but Anthony's not having it. He doesn't want to get pinned. So it may be a tech fall situation, or if Anthony can turn it around and get a reversal here and maybe run something himself, this could turn into a completely different match pretty quickly. Right now it's 11-0 Baugh over Jay Anthony.
And so 18-12 is the team score, East Buchanan over Albany. You can see the match score here, 11-0 East Buchanan over Albany.
So if the match was in right now, it would be a major decision, which is worth 4 team points. But there's a lot of match left, obviously. There's a whole period and a third. Anthony right now is just trying to keep him from being able to run another pinning combination, so to try and keep from a tech fall, because 15 points is worth 5 team points. There's more back points. If he lets him up here, that's going to be a tech fall. There it is. As soon as he lets go of the pinning combination, there's your tech fall. That's a tech fall for Baugh, which is going to be 5 team points. So Anthony fought off the pin. That's a positive when you're wrestling a good wrestler like that. Sometimes in wrestling, wins come in different ways than actual wins.
Because the team points for a pin is
5 or 6.
6.
A pin is 6. A tech
so
ball
you
is
save
5.
1 point by
saves the team point by not getting pinned. And then, like I said, sometimes it's the small victories. You wrestle a state-ranked wrestler like that, and you don't get pinned. I mean, that's just. So after Jay Anthony, we got Caden Griffin at 175 pounds from Albany, and then Blaine Veach from East Buchanan at 175 pounds. I got senior Caden Griffin taking on sophomore Blaine Veach at 175 pounds. So team score right now is 22-12 Albany. Wait, is that no? East Buchanan.
East
I'm
Buchanan,
sorry. Yeah, 22-12 East Buchanan. So the team score is 23-12. Listen, I ran that scoreboard. A lot of things happen really fast. So now we've got Veach taking on Griffin at 175 pounds. Team score is 23-12. Veach gets a good shot, but Griffin stuffs it, and they're back to neutral. And Griffin turns it into double A himself, gets the takedown. So 3-0 Griffin right now, looking to try and work a pinning combination on the edge of the mat, and they're going to be out of bounds. So 25 seconds in, it's 3-0 Griffin. I haven't seen Caden Griffin wrestle this year. He looks like he might be kind of solid. With his shoulder brace on, he may not have been able to wrestle till after Christmas or something. I just hadn't seen him yet. He looks like he could actually make some moves at 175. We'll see what he does against Ethan Smith in the next duel. If he can make a match out of that, that's saying something. Ethan ranked 3rd in the state. But Veach here trying to work back to his base. And Griffin trying to work in some sort of a chicken wing, it looks like. I can't quite see from this angle. He's got the wrist and looking to try and grind the elbow out. Going straight to the crossface. So
well, and Albany's one of those teams with Coach James Schausch. He's been there for a long time. He's a really good wrestling coach. And so they've had a good program working for quite a few years, and the continuity really probably helps with that as well.
Yeah, just like I said earlier, that we've got young kids in the stands right now watching our wrestling program. Well, they've had a decent enough program year after year that there's young kids at Albany watching this program also. And Schauff's been there a long time, had some state medalists come through in the past, his son being one of them, pretty solid wrestler, had some other good athletes. So he can take an athlete kid like this Griffin and make something out of it. Oh, yeah, Gavin Schaus, Coach Schaus' son, wrestles at Central Methodist University. So 1 green there on the penalty point. It's going to be 4-1 Griffin. So what happened there was he had a lock on, and he got to grind it on his finger. You can't, like the old big brother twisting fingers and twisting back. That's a penalty point for that. So 4-1 Griffin. So yeah, Coach Schaus can take an athletic, strong kid like this Griffin kid and get him in a good situation. Sometimes in wrestling you see a lot of these shoulder braces because things can happen. If he had something happen in football and he just needs a little extra protection, or that may be why I haven't seen him wrestle yet, because he may have been healing
you just
something.
Look at some of the positions that you get into wrestling,
yeah,
and definitely those shoulders get a lot of work in.
So a little bit of there was a stall warning for Griffin there because I think he was trying to work something that was backing up. So he just said to heck with it and just did a double leg takedown and got a takedown there at the end. So 7-1 at the end of the first period, Griffin over Veach. So Veach giving him a match here. Griffin you can tell he's just looking to the coach over there like, okay, I've ran the moves you've shown me. What's next? Because Brad Williams is the assistant coach over there, and I remember when he wrestled in high school also. So there's some experience in the Albany coaching staff. I wouldn't say it's the experience we have on the South Harrison staff, but still solid. Like you said, continuity. A good just bully move there. Just bullied him right to his back. Sometimes an athletic kid that we make it too complicated for him, he's just bully him. Just get mean. Puts Veach right to his back, and there's the takedown. Or the pin, I mean. So again, sometimes we would get all these technical moves, and a big, strong kid like that, sometimes you say, you know what, just take him down.
I remember watching J.D. Johnson
same
wrestle for South Harrison. He'd never wrestled in his life, and I think it was his senior year, the only year he wrestled, and just his athleticism, strength made a difference in some
I would
matches.
come in as a volunteer coach and try and wrestle him, and he would scare me because he was so strong and so fast. I felt like he was going to rip my arm off. Like Casey and Austin, I knew they weren't going to hurt me because they'd wrestled long enough. They knew all of it. But J.D. just didn't know enough. He was about half scary.
Yes.
All right, so that ends the duel. East Buchanan wins 29-18 with the Griffin win there. So we'll move into, after they shake hands here, we'll move into senior night.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back and show senior night. Go ahead and keep your both mics on, and we'll just let senior night roll as we go through. All right, so we will hear from our sponsors and be back here in just a moment.
Make every room your favorite room with O'Neill's Home Furnishings in Bethany. From lazy boy recliners and stylish sectionals to bedroom sets and dining tables built to last, we bring comfort and style together. Plus, enjoy free delivery, setup, and takeaway within 60 miles. Financing is available, subject to credit approval. Visit o'neillshomefurnishings.com or call 660-425-7200. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. O'Neill's, where great style meets everyday living.
We'll come back to our court cam as we'll get ready for senior night. Let me get our scoreboard off real quick. And a big night here for South Harrison, a big senior class as we'll get ready to get that in.
So a couple things going on. They're going to auction off a calendar here after senior night. So we'll go through the senior night festivities, and we'll have a little bit of time while they auction off the calendar for after prom, but we'll get into senior night festivities here. All right, welcome everybody to senior night for South Harrison. We have a large senior class, so we'll start right out of the northwest corner here, and they'll walk right out in front for pictures and stuff. We're going to start with our senior girl wrestler, Hayden Humphrey. Hayden Humphrey's escorting her parents, Gary and Ashley Humphrey. Gary was a South Harrison wrestler himself. I added that to the sheet here. Activities: she is she's a cheerleading and theater, book club, president 1 year, drama club, art club, Smoke Busters, FCA, and International Thespian Society for 4 years each. She was in band for 5 years, National Honor Society and wrestling for 3 years, FBLA for 2 years, and student council for 1 year. After graduation, she plans to attend NCMC for 2 years and transfer to major in dental hygiene and minor in sports medicine. Senior wrestler, Hayden Humphrey. Our next senior, Dawson Pelletier. Dawson is the son of Morris and Chris Pitzenbarger and Tony and Kelly Pelletier. Dawson has wrestled for 12 years, unfortunately is on crutches at the time. After graduation, Dawson plans to own and operate a window tint and detailing business. Senior wrestler, Dawson Pelletier. Hope to see him healed for districts. He's a pretty solid wrestler. Our next senior is Brendan Hoover. Brendan is the son of Justin Hoover and Christy Contreras. His activities are football, track, and wrestling for 4 years each. He's a 2-time state qualifier in wrestling, captain 1 year, Smoke Busters 1 year, and after graduation he plans to obtain a business degree and work as a project manager. Senior Brendan Hoover. Our next senior is Camden Eckerson. Camden has a little bit of a fan group here tonight. Big fan group. Camden is the son of Brad and Christy Griffin and the late Josh Eckerson. Activities: he's played football for 4 years, wrestled for 2 years, track, baseball, and Smoke Busters for 1 year. After graduation, Camden plans to attend college through the Army National Guard and then serve active duty. Senior Camden Eckerson. Next senior is Ian Mode. Ian is the son of Richard Mode and Tisha Kennison. For activities, he's wrestled for 3 years, theater for 2 years, and choir for 1 year. After graduation, he plans to train with the MMA with the intentions of becoming a professional wrestler. Senior Ian Mode. Our next senior is Mason Galloway. Mason is the son of Philip Galloway and Jessica Long, and Laura and Waz Addy. Activities is wrestling for 2 years, football and FBLA for 4 years, Smokebusters and track for 3 years, FCCLA and basketball for 1 year. After graduation, he plans to attend Northwest Missouri State University and pursue a degree in cybersecurity. Senior Mason Galloway. Our next senior is Ethan Smith. He has a following here tonight also, nicknamed Green. Ethan is the son of Tara and Caleb Name. Activities is wrestling and football for 4 years, a wrestling captain for 2 years, and a football captain for 1 year. Ethan is also a 2-time state qualifier for wrestling, track, FBLA, and Smokebusters for 2 years. And after graduation, he plans to study biology or chemistry at Central Missouri University for a career in forensic science. Senior Ethan Smith. Our next senior is the Cray Coffee. BG is the son, Cray is the son of BG and Coach Eric Coffey. Activities is 4 years of football, 3 years as the captain, 4 years of wrestling, and 3 years as the captain. Track, Letterman's Club, and Academic Club for 4 years. National Honor Society for 3 years, FBLA for 2 years. After graduation, Cray plans to continue playing football in college. College is yet to be determined. Senior Cray Coffey. And our last but definitely not least in size, Ruger Johnson. Ruger's the son of Matt and Carrie Johnson. He's been in football, wrestling, FFA, FCA, and Letterman's Club for 4 years, baseball, National Honor Society, and Smokebusters for 3 years, and track and FBLA for 1 year. After graduation, he's interested in athletic training and playing college football. The college location is yet to be determined also. Senior Ruger Johnson. So congratulations to all the seniors, big class, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Well, that's one of those we talked about, not just the number of seniors, but the quality of wrestlers in this senior class is huge.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, you look at you got 3 kids that are ranked in the top 4 of the state. You got another 2 or 3 possible medalists. You know, South Harrison was a half a point away from being top 5 or top 4 in the state last year. They missed by a half a point, and they were looking to try and duplicate that or do a half point better this year. We lost a very solid senior in Mason Edwards. They're going to auction off the calendar. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to dual job here.
No, you're doing great.
So yeah, they've got a good potential for at least 3 medalists and possibly a couple more. It's a very exciting time to be a part of South Harrison Wrestling. We got some young wrestlers coming, but man, it's going to be hard to. And a lot of these kids that are seniors now have been wrestling since they were like 4 and 5, 6. BG showed me a picture of Cray and Ruger's first tournament when they were both 6. They were the only 2 in their bracket at Savannah. Had to wrestle each other 3 times that day. So they've been both wrestling since they were 5. 2 really good kids too. You saw they're both plan on playing college football. That's a program that's going to miss those two kids. Football is going to miss Ruger and Gray. I'm not saying there isn't kids that can, fill their shoes, but they're tough. They're tough.
Well, it's just you've got this class, and you and I have been around Bethany and South Harrison long enough. When you have a class that has this kind of depth across the softball team and golf team and basketball, boys and girls, football, wrestling, it'll go into track. Every few years you get one of those classes, and this group is one of them, and they'll definitely be missed. And my daughter's part of that class, so I've watched these kids kind of like you since they were, 4 or 5 years old playing peewee soccer, t-ball, and to watch them now as seniors is pretty awesome.
Like we've noticed in softball for sure, winning breeds winning. When you have a good class like that are good kids and put together a good statement of this is how you're supposed to do it, the kids underneath them really follow. So they're going to do an auction here. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to step away for a little bit. We'll come back, hear from some more of our sponsors, and then Jeremy and I will talk about a little more about wrestling. We'll get ready for Albany and South Harrison after this commercial break.
Craving authentic Mexican flavor? Come to El Nopal, where every bite tastes like home. From sizzling fajitas and street-style tacos to delectable desserts, El Nopal brings the true taste of Mexico to your table. And now, we can bring the fiesta to you. Book the El Nopal food truck for birthdays, weddings, or any special event. And let us serve up tradition on wheels. El Nopal, authentic Mexican food made with love.
Show your school spirit with a BTC Bank Mascot Debit Card. For each swipe of your Mascot Debit Card, BTC Bank donates 7.5 cents to the school represented on your card. It's a simple step you can take to have a big impact on your community at no cost to you. Stop by a branch today to get your Mascot Debit Card and start making a difference immediately. Visit btcbank.bank to learn more. Member FDIC.
Bethany Building Center is your locally owned source for quality building supplies, lumber, hardware, plumbing, and electrical needs. Whether you're starting new construction, tackling a remodel, or putting up a pole barn or shed, our team is here to help. We're proud to carry a full line of steel power equipment, including trimmers, chainsaws, and pressure washers, as well as trusted power tools from top brands like Milwaukee and DeWalt. Bethany Building Center, everything for the builder and the do-it-yourselfer.
Harrison County Community Hospital, your trusted hometown healthcare provider. We're here for you with a 24-hour emergency department, inpatient and outpatient care, and a full range of health services. Our primary care clinics in Bethany and Eagleville are here to meet your everyday health needs. And we're growing with you. Soon we'll open our brand new state-of-the-art hospital built to serve our community with even greater care right here at home. Our mission is simple: exceptional care for every patient, every day. Learn more at hcchospital.org.
All right, CF Rainey back here, joined by Jeremy VanMeter. And Jeremy, we're getting ready for South Harrison, Albany in this try. South Harrison defeated East Buchanan. East Buchanan defeated Albany. But it's one of those things sometimes when you're talking about teams, obviously, however many wrestlers you have, where you're wrestling makes a big difference in how that goes.
When I was in high school, this was the biggest duel of our year. Like, when we wrestled Albany, we had it on the calendar. We circled it. We said, okay, how do we match up? We got to figure out how to win. We did everything we can. Now, Albany, since the 90s, has gotten smaller. And this is as good a program as had for a run. They don't have as many wrestlers this year. We're full except for 106 and 113. So we have an advantage there with the open. But then it comes down to, well, did we win them all? Well, yeah. I'm old school, man, but I know you're from Albany. I'm not trying to dabble in that rivalry. But
well,
back in our day, it was legit, wasn't
it? It was.
Yeah.
Especially the old GRC.
Yeah.
Right, it was – all those schools were so close. So it wasn't just – Albany, 15, 17 miles away.
Yeah.
Then you had Stanberry, you had Worth County, you had King City. You didn't just see those kids at sporting activities. You saw them on weekends sometimes.
Yeah.
We were over in Bethany a lot with McDonald's and Walmart and everything. And so, obviously, I have ties to both these schools, having graduated from Albany, grown up there. But one of my children's graduated from South Harrison. One's about ready to, and then have another one here. And I've told people from Albany that kid me a little about my kids wearing purple. At this point, I have lived in Bethany for 26 years. I lived in Albany 18.
So you've been wearing purple longer than you wore green. And
have.
there's some Mizzou time in there, too. So
yeah.
You've definitely had purple on more than green.
And so, obviously, still school I follow. Watching some of these names pop up that are watching classmates and everything that has kids there. It's a big deal as we're here on the United Country Real Estate, Nelson Real Estate halftime in between match show as we do wrestling.
Right.
But joined by Jeremy VanMeter. He's just off camera here. He's doing double duty, and we so appreciate him doing that tonight. And I hope you've really enjoyed, if you are someone that doesn't follow wrestling, listening to some of his insight as the wrestlers are kind of warming back up after some time off. The other thing I want to mention is you mentioned district seeding a couple times.
Yeah.
So obviously you can win through, I would assume just like in any sort of tournament, the higher seed, you have a little easier path until you get a little deeper into it, or not?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, they seed them. So, like, 1 and 2 is opposite each other in the brackets, like normal. But you really go into districts, your record's 0-0. So, yeah, you might be the 15 seed taking on the 1 seed, but all it takes is a lat drop or a hip toss, and that 1 seed's on his back. Austin Ward was undefeated his senior year, and the first round of state, a kid got a shot all the way in and had him on his back, and Austin had to fight off and then beat him. But things can happen in this sport just like that.
And I think that's the other thing, right? If you give up,
seeding helps, but in the end, you got to go on the mat.
Well, and you mentioned, right, 6 minutes, 2 minutes at a time. But it's one of those things in basketball, you give up an 8-0 run, you can come back. In football, you give up a big touchdown, you can come back. In wrestling, one mistake could cost you a match.
Yes, 100%. One mistake. That's why you see a lot of defense. That's why there's rules as far as stalling and stuff where you can't just go out there and stall your way through a match. You have to actually wrestle aggressively, or you get they start awarding the other person points for stalling. It's one of those amazing sports that you can gauge wins off more than just your record.
Yeah.
I can tell you, me and my oldest son, Jaron, we talk about how we were gatekeeper wrestlers. If you were a good wrestler, you're going to beat us. But if you were a novice or not a very good wrestler, we could beat you. So we wrestled the whole time, but we were the gatekeepers to the threshold of if you're going to be solid or not. But
yeah, we're going to step away here. We'll be back for Albany and South Harrison right after this quick commercial break.
Looking for a fresh style? Come to Hairspray Salon, your full-service destination for beauty. From cuts, coloring, and perms to flawless formal styles and makeup, our stylists do it all. Treat yourself with gel, dip, or acrylic nails, plus relaxing pedicures and professional waxing services. Need a thoughtful gift? Ask about our gift certificates. Hairspray Salon is open Monday through Friday, with Saturdays available by appointment. Feel confident, look beautiful at Hairspray Salon.
Have friends or family coming to Bethany? Give them a home away from home at Hidden Acres Cabin Rentals. In the rolling hills of Bethany, our cozy cabins start at $140 a night and include everything guests need to relax: private space, modern amenities, and a peaceful country setting. Book a cabin today at hiddenacrescabinrentals.com or call 660-373-9927. Hidden Acres Cabins. Comfort for your guests, just minutes from you.
All right, back here as we're getting ready for South Harrison and Albany.
So they had the captain's meeting, and oddly enough, Albany is red because they're guests. That's how it has to work in the computer. But Albany's green uniforms, it will be red, which is guest. We're starting at 120. Albany is open, so Cruz Stewart at 120 pounds will get another open win. So Cruz has an easy night, gets 2 victories on his record.
And that's one of those, I was talking to Cruz after school, and I said, hey, I look forward to watching you wrestling. And he's like, oh, I don't get to wrestle tonight. Open on both those.
But they count as wins your record for district seeding. So we're moving to 126. Brendan Hoover from South Harrison Senior taking on freshman Levi Bullimore. Nope, wrong team. Jaden Staudenmeyer. So senior Hoover taking on freshman Staudenmeyer here at 126 pounds. Hoover with a quick slide by right to a 3-point takedown. Got wrist control, is going to let him go. So 1 point escape for Stodmeyer, 3-1. Hoover got in a collar tie here, going to try and work that front leg. Got a good ankle pick there. Another takedown for Hoover. So a lot of times when you see a wrestler like this that's got a lot more experience, sometimes they'll take him down, let him up, take him down, but it looks like Hoover's going to go straight for a half Nelson and try and end this early. Freshman Stodmeyer, I don't know if it's his first year wrestling, but definitely a freshman over a senior. Sometimes just the maturity strength there is very visible on a mat. Going to a tilt now, so now the score is, what is even the score? 10-1, now into a tilt. Good Lord, things are happening quick. So now 14-1. Hoover going back to the cradle, so this will be a tech fall unless he pins him. Yeah, pin win for Hoover. So now the team score is 12-0 South Harrison, moving to 132 pounds. Jacob Metter at 132 pounds for Bethany, or South Harrison. And Clayton Griffin for Albany, junior versus junior. Jacob Metter is one of those kids that has never wrestled till this year, has a lot of athletic ability, has shown signs that he could definitely help us next year. Dawson Pelletier is injured, so he's able to step into 132. And he's won some matches.
When you mentioned Dawson, and I've obviously watched him wrestle, you mentioned maybe get him back possibly?
I don't know. They've had an MRI. There's a crack in his ankle. We don't have a full decision on that yet. We hope to have him back for districts because he's a good wrestler, but we don't know that yet. But Jacob Metter stepped in here at 132 and won some matches. Dawson told me, he's like, you know what? He's athletic enough that if it wasn't for his years' experience, he'd have trouble with him in practice. There he's got, he had a decent move there, but no points awarded. Still 0-0, both neutral. So Griffin fought off a move that Metter, he may not even know what he was doing. He was just, it looked like something that was going to work. That's the thing about these athletic, strong kids that don't have any experience. Sometimes they just start running stuff. And they're like, does this work? And you have to be like, no, don't do that. There's a good slide by. Going to get behind for a takedown. So Metter is 3-0 here. Got the far side cradle, going to rock it back if he can. Griffin got it, the cradle broke loose, keeping that arm over. Oh, he's got the cradle locked back up again. Oh, it lost the grip, but he's still in control, so still 3-0 Metter. So this is a perfect example of a inexperienced wrestler that's got athletic ability. So he's just trying to run whatever move he knows. And when it doesn't work, he goes back to it because he doesn't know another move. Metter shows signs of learning a lot of stuff. They're going to go out of bounds here with 34 seconds left in the first period. Score 3-0 Metter. Metter's shown signs that as he gets to know stuff, know more moves, he's going to be solid, I think. Definitely something when we lose that huge senior class next year, we're going to be glad if he comes back out. See, inexperience there, Metter. when you go in the referee's position, you have to have your backside hand on the belly button. You can't go too far over. So you have to have it directly on the belly button, and your front side hand has to be on the elbow.
Well, I like the official takes the time to explain it to him.
Especially a young wrestler like that. So early in the season, Metter had a little trouble with clasping there. You saw him not do it there, which is a very good learning. You see as a coach, hey, he's learning the stuff we're teaching. Got a chicken wing and needs to break him down to his belly because he can always just wrench that back down. And, they allowed him to get to his legs. He's going to have to cross face away and get back in control here. Going to short time here with 8 seconds left. Got back in control. Probably just going to ride it out to the end of the first period. So he needs to be careful. There's the backside cradle. We talked about the reverse cradle. No points there. Metter was still in control, so 3-0 Metter. He needs to be careful with that. Yeah, here, Coach Casey's telling him, hey, watch that reverse cradle.
Wait, time out. You're what? You're even? Did I say it backwards? Oh, that chose odd.
So we're trying to figure out who's position. So South Harrison has choice. They defer. Albany is given the wrestler choice. That's an interesting move by Coach Schaus there, giving him his confidence. Sometimes you let the kid choose their destiny. He chooses neutral. Metter doesn't get his toe on the line, gets a caution. Too many cautions, and then you award somebody a point, so it's 3-0 Metter. Metter right now is looking to try and extend his lead, and Griffin looking to try and get Metter into the legs deep. He's got him on his back, holding him there. He definitely got a 3-point takedown with got a 2-point near fall. So now 6, 7, 8, 8-0 Metter, and he's going to look to try and put together some sort of, he just needs to run a good old-fashioned, you want to talk about a bully move in wrestling, a good old cross-face across the bridge of the nose. Man, that's some old-school wrestling that you just run it right across the bridge of the nose and make the kid think about it as it's happening. It's just a bully move, and it's a good one. It works. Metter's got the half Nelson in now, but he needs to break him down to his belly and then run around the head. He's getting close. There it is. He got around the head. Now he needs to tee up. Oh, no, he got rolled through on. That's just experience right there. You can tell Griffin's got more experience. He rolled through the half, and now he's got Metter on his back and pin. There's There's the thing. Metter was winning that match the whole time until he made that one mistake. So 132, Griffin is going to be your pin victor. So that's going to put the team score, I want to say 12-6.
I can go back to it because I think I needed to do a takedown and then.
And we mentioned it, and everyone watching, and I feel like we've got a great view. We're almost like level with this camera over here to my left. And just how quick, right? You mentioned Metter. Yeah. He's in control. Everything's
He's rolling him to his back and then just gets rolled through on and gets stuck himself. I mean, everything has to happen fast, in control. And sometimes an athletic kid like that doesn't have a lot of experience tries to go too fast, and an experienced wrestler like Griffin rolls through on stuff and gets the win. And honestly, Metter's probably a better athlete, but Griffin has more experience.
Well, and that's it, too. On the flip side, for the Warriors, for Griffin, you can be down,
and you're still in it.
Chance to get through, and you're right back there.
Yeah. Yeah, that just comes down. You can tell Griffin's got, even if it's not a lot more experience, he's got enough to know, hey, he's running the half. Let's try and roll through. You got to tee up when you got that half in, perpendicular to where your body stops from rolling through. It's just Metter. I wish I knew that kid earlier when he was in elementary and got him to wrestle then. Good athletic kid. They would be a great wrestler. The kids like that, we say stuff like, if they knew anything, they'd be dangerous.
Yeah.
Amber Criley for us the same way. All right, so we're moving on to 138. Gentry Allen from South Harrison will be taking on Grayson Miller from Albany. Gentry Allen, JV wrestler. Jansen VanMeter is our 138-pounder, but he has he's out with an ankle injury right now.
I saw him gimping around.
Yeah, it's one of those
hitching his giddy up.
It's one of those high ankle sprains that's almost worse than a break, and we can't get rid of it. So Gentry Allen wrestling here, gives up a takedown to Miller, then gets an escape. So 3-1 Miller. Gentry Allen looking to possibly get a takedown and get back ahead here. Miller looking to try and work something himself. Gentry Allen's been a 2 or 3 year wrestler. Got a little bit of experience. Another kid that I wish I could have convinced to go out in youth wrestling when he was little. He's got enough athleticism to make up some of that. You can see where he can get in on a shot really well. Miller did block that one, so still 3-1 Miller. Both kids are sophomores. Another one of those situations where, they both weigh 138, but Gentry Allen looks about 6 inches taller than Miller. So Allen keeps setting up shots, and Miller keeps blocking. So Miller got a baseball grip there, knowing he's ahead, and then sets up a nice little outside sweep that Gentry Allen didn't see coming. Gets the takedown, so going to make it 6-1 Miller. So now Miller going to look to break him down from the base position, and Allen just going to try and fight back to his base and to his feet on the edge of the mat here. There's one there. He's out of had 1 point of contact, and they all fell out. So 19 seconds left of the first period. 6-1 Miller over Allen. So normally I would tell a kid at the whistle there, you want to really explode out. Miller probably knew it was coming, grabbed an ankle and kind of calmed Allen down there to where he wasn't going to be able to just explode out. Got short time here at the end of the first period. Allen looking to maybe hopefully get an escape. Miller doesn't want to give it up. And that's the end of the period. So into the first period, 6-1. Grayson Miller over Gentry Allen. Red's choice. They're going to give wrestler decision. They're going to defer. So South Harrison's choice, we're going to put Gentry Allen down. Again, it's easier to score points from the down position because you can get an escape, a reversal, all sorts of stuff. When you're on top, all you can do is really try and go for a pinning combination. Miller breaks down Allen from the elbow. Got the 2 hands on the left arm. Going to look to. I don't know what he's trying to run here. Allen's not really letting him do a whole lot of anything. He's got wrist control there. Allen's looking to try and gain it back. So now he breaks him down with a bulldozer. Allen just needs to stay off his hips, stay off his shoulder, try and get his wrist free and get up.
I think it's so interesting because you'll hear people yell, like, get up, get up.
He's
That's
trying.
easier said than done.
Yeah, he's trying. What I would usually tell a kid here is, hey, don't drown down there. Just because you're on bottom doesn't mean just stay down there. You don't want to drown on bottoms. What you tell, Miller's got a cradle hooked up, but we tell a kid to get long, get long. We're telling Allen now that he wants to get his legs away from his head to get long. He's got 58 seconds to try and break that grip. There, he got it broke. So now he needs to try and get up to his base and get to his feet and keep his nose away from his knee. Miller's going to continue to try and break him down. Yeah, when you tell a kid to choose down like that, you would want to tell him, and I think I heard Coach Bennett say, hey, don't drown down there. Because you don't want a kid to feel like he's underwater while he's on bottom. You want him to feel like he's underwater while he's on bottom, so he tries to fight to get up. So Miller's got the cradle hooked back up. Allen is getting back points now. Allen's going to try and fight it off. He's not going to be able to. Looks like he's arm in the way of his back, getting a pin here. Maybe that right shoulder of Allen's is way off the mat, but he gets the pin. So Miller gets the pin over Allen. Going to tie the team score 12-12. So Grayson Miller with the pin win at 138. So moving to 144. South Harrison is open at 144. Looks like. And Kendrick Katz from Albany is going to get the open victory.
I love the fact you still get to go out there and the ref raises your hand.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't make the call, you don't get the points. You don't get the win. So moving to 150, Ian Mode for South Harrison, and Albany will be open at 150. So that puts the team score back to 18-18, and then we'll move to 157. We've got Batman for South Harrison, Mason Galloway, and Dylan Anthony for Albany at 157. So a couple strong athletic kids here at 157 pounds. So team score tied right now. Mason Galloway for South Harrison, Dylan Anthony for Albany. Mason looking for the front headlock. Getting a little bully with him here, a little big brother. Got the takedown quick, 3-0 Galloway. Got wrist control. Going to try and go for the crossface butcher in a hurry. See, Mason Galloway is just a strong kid, but Dylan Anthony's got enough strength. He's fighting off some stuff. Mason missed on the butcher there, so he's going to try and keep control, and Anthony gets away. So 3-1 Mason. Just another bully move. 3-point takedown for Galloway. Now he gets the butcher hooked up correctly, but Anthony's fighting it off. 6-1 Galloway. Anthony's fighting the crossface butcher off. There's a crossface cradle that Mason's going to miss on. Anthony's just enough of an athlete that anytime Mason tries to run something, he can block it. He's got good wrist control, looking for the tilt there. There's the tilt. Oh, and he's going to turn it into a nice little front headlock. So he's got back points looking for the pin. Needs to lift the head here. He needs to take that right arm and lift his head. go under the arm with his left arm and put a front headlock in and lift his head. But Anthony fights it off. So 4 back points there, so 10-1 Galloway. Anthony with a nice little roll through. Galloway's athleticism saves him there. He's going to try and do it again, it looks like, but Galloway's going to fight it off. See, if you run that half Nelson from your feet, that's the problem. You get rolled through. We just talked about that. So 2 reversal for Anthony. Now Galloway gets an automatic 2-point reversal back. So now it's 12-3 Galloway. So Anthony's showing some signs of life here, and Galloway's just trying to end the match. This Anthony kid's athletic enough. He's fighting off everything. He keeps trying to do that arm tuck roll through, which then now Galloway has a half Nelson, but on the edge of the mat at the end of the first period. A lot of action in just one period.
A great one.
So you got 12-3 Galloway. That Anthony kid's just athletic enough to be a problem. I mean, he just keeps rolling through, keeps tucking through. Who chose what there? Oh, we got a little bit of blood time. Anthony's got some blood.
Neutrals were what I think they chose there. But it's interesting, right, because you can be up, all of a sudden
bang,
time hits.
Yeah.
And it's not like in football, it's still, I mean, the score's still there, but it almost resets just momentum-wise there at the end of the period.
And especially in a situation like this where there's blood time. So not only are we just not going back to the center and re-wrestle, starting the period, now there's blood time. So now they're able to kind of take a breath. Galloway has the momentum because he's just kind of running some bully moves, but Anthony's just athletic enough. He's showing signs of being able to, stop him. So
here's the other thing, Jeremy, right? Non-wrestler. The knee pad on one knee.
There's when you shoot into the legs, you shoot with 1 foot forward and you have a drag leg. Well, that mat is soft, but you've got rug burns before. So when you shoot enough, your drag leg gets like raw.
So that's why the one knee is on that drag where you're pulling it through on the mat.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was like, wait, time out. I can't see everything.
Well, so we appreciate you can hear. We mentioned Grandma Karen Guffey, Crazy Grandma 85th birthday. Grandma Guffey, if you're listening.
You can hear BG. I'm sitting right next to her.
Right.
No.
Oh, no, we love it.
We love it. Grandma
awesome.
Guffey's getting a birthday shout out while you're telling the referee how to do this deal.
And the great thing is, right, the coffees, and you mentioned before, man, they're running this show and they're here.
Eric's running the scoreboard. BG's running the official tracks wrestling. So, I know Craig graduates, but I hope they don't graduate with him. So Mason started on bottom. So Anthony, he gets to stand up, and Anthony immediately mat returns. So Mason needs to work back to his base. He needs to stay out of a pinning combination. He's winning 12-3. He needs to stay. He's got a power half in. Anthony does. That's another bully move, just a muscle head move, and Mason's posted out. Oh my, he's got a weird variation of a leg and a half. That's going to be potential. Well, I don't. Mason just needs to fight that back free and get to his base and headhunt like he's trying to. He needs to stay out of that because right now he's got to get to a base. He's got to. So Anthony right now is what we call riding the hips. He's putting all of his weight on Galloway to where he can't get to his base. Now he works to his base, and Anthony's riding hard, and Mason's going to get back to his feet. And not quite. Anthony's still in control. He still technically has control because that leg. Mason's trying to get the reversal with a crossface. There it is. So 2-point reversal for Galloway. He's going to cut him. It's going to be 14-3. Cut him means he let him up, so it's going to be 14-4. Galloway. So looking just another takedown for Galloway there. Anthony missed on a shot, and Galloway took advantage. So now it's 17-5 with the escape of Anthony. Is that right? 17-5. Another takedown for Galloway. That's tech fall. Whew, that's a lot of stuff happened in a short window of time.
You mentioned it. It's just the back and forth of it because
tech fall for
Anthony. Right, Albany had Galloway down for a while. He couldn't get out,
and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 bang. Tech fall for Mason Galloway over Anthony. So 5-point team points there. We're going to move to 165, where Jay Anthony is going to take on Tate Akins. Jay Anthony of Albany taking on Tate Akins of South Harrison. Team points right now is 23 South Harrison, 18 Albany. Albany is about to run out of wrestlers, though, as far as who they have as we go up the weight classes. Anthony thinks about a shot. Aikens stuffs it. Again, good shot by Anthony. Tate is sprawled well. That's where we yell laces down. So he tries to sprawl his feet away and puts his shoelaces down and gets pushed out of bounds there. So still neutral.
Start the clock. We can just go off of this. Hit a buzzer. I don't know if it's better just to let it.
Just let it ride, yeah. Tate has the reached down and got a leg and lost it there with the whizzer. So still neutral, still fighting for a wrist control. Officials have worked back to the center, so Aikens moves back. Some wrestlers have, that's kind of their strategy, is to wrestle on the edge of the mat. So if they miss on something, they can kind of bail. Officials try and stop that. So Anthony has a good single leg. He's got it shelved up. Aikens is fighting it off, and, I mean, they're out of bounds by a long ways. Yeah, so back to neutral. That's one of those deals where Anthony was pulling, so Aikens just pushed him on out of bounds. And, again, a strategy to stop a possible situation. So still neutral, 0-0. Minute 5 left in the first period. This is definitely one of those district matchups where it could matter for seeding. Both of them have, I want to say, probably similar records. Aikens has won his share of matches, and Anthony's athletic enough. He's probably won some matches, so this could make a difference in district seeding. Anthony with a shot in on the leg. Aikens is going to try and put what we call the stanky leg in, and he gets it blocked, so nobody has any control right now. Aikens just trying to stop. He's going to look for a crossface cradle. That could be a solid little defense to that. And then now but then you have a reverse cradle locked up on with Anthony. There's like 3 things, 4, 5, 9 things can happen from here. What's going to happen next, we don't know. There's the 3/4 Nelson. Things happen so quickly in wrestling. It's amazing. I love it. 3 takedown Aikens. So now 3-0 Aikens has control with the behind the front shoulder. Now we're going to call an illegal. Oh, yeah, Anthony pulled the finger back like we talked about. I couldn't see it from this angle, and your cameras couldn't either, but he was trying to pull a grip apart and pulled by the finger, and you can't do that. My older sister used to do that to me when I was a kid. It hurt. That's why it's illegal. So 4-0 Aikens, and in control here, short time at the end of the first. So end of the first period, 4-0 Tate Aikens over Jay Anthony.
And Jeremy, that's one of those. There was all kinds of action,
but no points was happening.
30 seconds. Yeah, no points until about 25 seconds left there in the period.
So sometimes a lot can happen and points can be awarded, and sometimes a lot of things happen and nothing's awarded. So we're back to neutral. It looked like Albany deferred and South Harrison chose neutral. So we're back to neutral, 4-0 South Harrison. So there's a couple strategies here where if you chose neutral because you feel like you can probably get a takedown. Anthony says, I'm going to take the shot first. Aikens is blocking it off with a whizzer. Got back to the single leg trying to shelf it. You got to be careful trying to jump out like that. You can get a stalling call. Aikens is fighting that off solidly, but Anthony just can't get him to the mat, even with the knee rotated. Aikens is fighting that off.
It's amazing to watch someone hop around on one leg and stay up that long.
Technical ovation, yeah. One red, you can't just jump out like that. So 4-1 Aikens. There's so many things happening right now.
But sometimes, are you willing to give up a point to get out of that kind of predicament?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, the problem is you can only have so many technical violations before you get disqualified. So you're kind of punting a point for that reason, knowing that you're getting out of trouble, but you got to remember that you have that later in the match. So 4-1, Tate Aikens back on our feet neutral with under a minute left in the second period. Anthony's had a couple decent shots. Aikens trying to stop. He's got a front headlock in. Now he needs to break him down. He needs to be able to run something from it. There he's got him broke down now. Oh, but Anthony went straight to the knee. So now Aikens has to give up the takedown. So now you're looking at a tied 4-4 with Anthony in control. .30 seconds left in the second period. Tied match. Been a solid match so far. Anthony's first time he's been in control the whole match. right now that technical violation is why it's tied. So, yeah, you gave it up, but now it's tied because of it. Got 15 seconds left in the second period. He's got 2-on-1 here, Anthony does. Tate's just trying to get an escape by the end of the period, and he's trying to circle, trying to get away. He gave a stalling to red because he's just holding on. You got a mat return within 5 seconds. So no points awarded there, but he did get the stall warning, which could make a difference later. So we're going to start the third period tied 4-4. So again, two full period matches or periods. Now we're going to the 2-minute third period. Both kids looked a little gassed because they've been wrestling hard. A lot of action. Score is tied 4-4. I wouldn't say they look gassed, but they definitely have wrestled hard for 2 periods. Now they got to wrestle for another period. Got the front headlock again, and he's going to have to do something more with it besides that, or he's going to give up a takedown. There's a takedown for Anthony. So now it's 7-4. Anthony, and he's going to work on the arm bar and a far ankle. Tate. I mean, he's got that far ankle pinned. He's going to try and break him down with it, or just, if he can, just ride it out. You got to be careful. You can't just ride because you can get a stalling call if you're not trying to run something. But he's got a wrist. Now he's trying to come to the front to maybe run. Aiken's going to block that off. Now we're back to referee's position, trying to break him down. Gets the arm 2-on-1 with the arm here. Anthony's going to try and hang on or run something here, maybe a little both. Aikens is going to get a stall warning because he's not trying to work to better his position. So a stall warning, if he gets another one, he'll get a point awarded. I think they're both feeling the effects of a full match here. Tate's just trying to get an escape or something. That's his second stall warning. Anthony's right. Yeah, so 1 green. All right, so yeah, the second one, so now it's 5-7. Ooh, so a reversal.
36 seconds left here.
Yeah, so a reversal ties it. Escape, he'll need a takedown. Anthony's just going to try and ride it out with not getting another stall warning. They're both feeling the effects of the whole match. There, Tate showed a flash of energy. Anthony put him back down, but Tate's back to his feet. Going to try and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be another stall. There's another stall. So now we're looking at 7. Get the escape and it's tied here, or get a takedown and it's a win for Aikens. He's got to get control. He stepped over. Right now, we're getting exciting match here at the end, and Aikens with the reversal. It's going to put him ahead by 1, 8-7. Aikens with 8 seconds left. He's going to hang on. 3, 2. No escape awarded. A 1-point victory for Tate Aikens. Last minute. They're both going to feel that tomorrow.
Yeah, look at that.
Look, they are gassed. 8-7. Aikens with the win. That's so far the match of the night.
No, and he's feeling it, but boy, it's always better when you get the win.
Yeah, it feels good when you win. It feels bad when you lose. So now we're moving real quickly to 175 pounds. Caden Griffin from Albany and Ethan Smith from South Harrison. Griffin showed signs of being athletic and strong against East Buchanan, but Ethan Smith, like I said, is ranked 3rd in the state. So Griffin's got his work cut out for him. We'll see what he's got. Oh, and straight to the cow catcher and to his back, but Griffin fights it off a little. Ethan going to see if he can hold him. He's got a takedown and going to have near fall. So 7-0 Smith right off the bat within the first 12 seconds, and he's going to let him up. So now 7-1, and Ethan's back to work. Griffin's strong enough and athletic enough. He's going to fight some of it, but Smith is just strong and athletic and technical himself. Gets a good ankle pick, going to turn it into a double leg. Griffin going to hang on for life. He's going to go through the legs, out the back door, and to his back. So that's 10-1. Now he's on his back. I know Ethan probably wants to pin here, but that's another 4, so you're looking 14-1. 14-1 Smith. Griffin's fighting off everything he can, but Smith just keeps racking up points. Now he's got the chicken wing. He's going to try and roll him onto his back with the chicken wing and the double leg here. There's a tech fall. Good Lord. A lot of athleticism, a lot of movement, and a hurry, and a tech fall for Ethan Smith.
Yeah, big win there. Welcome in another Albany fan.
So South Harrison. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Watching as we get ready for the next Open.
Yeah, South Harrison's up 31-18. Caspian Jinx will get the open at 190. Then you got Craig Coffey at 215 with an open. And then Ruger Johnson with an open. It's going to put it the final. Oh, yeah, well, then nobody has anything at the top. So Ruger Johnson, it's going to be 49-18, their final team score for South Harrison. So a lot of things happen really quickly in a wrestling match. Best match of the night, I really feel like, was Tate Aikens and Jay Anthony. Good 3-period match. And good 3-period match that went down to the end. Both wrestlers wrestled well. Saw some good wrestling tonight. Good South Harrison crowd. You said you had quite a few people online too?
Yeah, no, we had a great crowd online, people from Albany, and I'm sure a few people from Bethany mentioned they're watching this too. So big thanks to all our sponsors. Big thank you to South Harrison for allowing us to do this. And Jeremy, I really appreciate it. My wife mentioned she was enjoying listening to us because she sat and listened to us a lot at sporting events.
Yeah.
And we were good. We didn't get.
Hey, listen. Normally, I get told I have to be quiet at these deals. You gave me an excuse to talk about it, so I'll do this all day long.
So Karen's probably happy that
I'm
you
not.
had a mic tonight.
Yeah.
Allowed you to do that. But congratulations to South Harrison. They won both of their matches tonight between East Buchanan and Albany. And senior night, just a great night overall. Congratulations to these seniors. We will be back for our next home meet as well. Hopefully we can get Jeremy in on that.
Well, and it's going to have a little nuance to it. There's going to be 2 mats. We're going to have our high school duels going on one mat, and then we have youth wrestling with South Harrison and some other schools coming. So we'll have some youth wrestling happen on the other mat. So we'll probably focus on the high school with some youth stuff to the side. I don't know how you want to handle that format.
We'll have the ability with our cameras to hopefully show some different things and switch back and forth. And you see right now on our camera we're showing.
Yeah, the Schoening family is right to the mat.
I will say this right now, right? You've got the youth, the next generation out there getting after it. And we got some takedowns going on out there.
See, and you come to a home basketball game, those kids are shooting baskets too, the Schoening boys. But I knew, if you know Chris Schoening, he is built like a wrestler. He just didn't do it in high school. He's a basketball coach. So I said, your boys need to be wrestling. Here they are. First year, Abel Barrett's going to be right in.
And I think that is Barrett. And don't tell Coach Watson, the basketball coach, but I think that is his son.
Oh, that's not JJ. That's Watson's son. Oh, my. So
Coach Watson's walking in. He may have to buy a singlet before we notice he comes in.
Yeah.
Big thanks to everyone that watched. You can see Tate Aikens. He's still dragging a little bit.
He's still gassed. Look at him.
We appreciate everyone watching. Thanks to all our sponsors. We'll see you. I think we have a little bit of time off before we have another event here on Bulldog Sports TV. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll have interviews with our basketball coaches coming up. And we will see you next time here on Bulldog Sports TV. Another big thanks to Jeremy VanMeter.
Thank you.